Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Team Jackie Stevens Home Show. I, Michelle Munoz, have hijacked this podcast so that I could bring you guys Jackie Stevens from the Jackie Stevens Real Estate Group. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Michelle. So it looks like she flipped the scripts, guys.
Yeah.
She threw me out of the office. Now I'm at a home office.
Yes, I'm in her office. But I wanted to bring her in because I know that you guys, you know her as a real estate agent. But I wanted to, preview her and show the world, El Paso and the neighboring community, what she's doing and what are her future plans as a real estate professional. Jackie, of course, everybody knows she's a top 20 El Paso agent. She's also a top 250 National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and she is a new eXp Realty Icon Agent. I am so proud of you, Jackie, and I'm so excited to be part of your team.
Oh, Michelle. They say angels come within time, you be it, right?
Yes.
But I'm so happy that you are one agent that has joined not only our team, but our family.
Yes.
So I consider not only my household family, but my office and my agents, my family. Yes. So thank you so much for even flipping the switch over.
Yes. Well, if I didn't do this, you were not going to let me say I'm going to do it on my own and just send you messages telling you, you know what, you have an appointment with me. Just stay at your house and I'm going to log you in.
Well, I'm here, Michelle. And to El Paso, I'm here to share everything that you can possibly ask me. So comments, please feel free. I'm just going to take it down to the basics. Let me know. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, well, tell us first, Jackie, what were you doing before real estate? Tell me that.
Well, before real estate, look at how low I'm going because I've been pumping my chair down. Let me go real quick. Okay. Before real estate, I was 20 years old when I decided to join the El Paso County Sheriff's Office here in El Paso. So, wow. I had a little bit of a goal to get into law school. And a lot of people would tell me girl, that's a long time, 8-9 years. So, I had a friend of mine that was a sheriff and, he was a deputy at that time. He said, just get into the detention facility. You'll know all the ins and outs about, criminals and laws and whatever, at that time. So I said, that's not a bad idea. So I was 19, 20 when I applied. I got called in when I was 20. They asked me to come and take a physical test. I was only, about to turn 20. And I did. I went to go take the physical test here at the Sheriff's Office on Montana. And there was 60 people there.
And
can you hear me now? Hello?
That's Jackie. Are you there? Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, so I ended up taking the physical test and I ended up passing it, which I was like, okay, what's next? And so I waited a couple of weeks. From those couple of weeks, I ended up getting a call that, I had to go through some panel board. I ended up taking that. A few weeks later, they call me and tell me they would like to accept me into the academy.
Wow.
So, oh my God, what am I really getting myself into? Because, I just did it, I was like, what am I doing? So I did go through the academy. I ended up graduating with my group there. And I started, the detention facility there in downtown. So I was a correctional officer for 5 years there. 3 years out of those 5 years, I was pregnant, having my kids. So, yeah, I served there. If my sheriff friends are on here, I was always in the guard station there. And they hated it because everybody wanted a little piece of the guard station to make the nights a little bit easier, and they had to be on the floor. So when they would call their name to be with me, they'd be like, oh man, because I couldn't be out there pregnant. So I did have 3 of my kids, no, actually, I'm sorry, 2 pregnancies there at the SO. With that in mind, where I'm getting at is while I was having my kids, of course, birthday parties were coming, holidays were coming, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I could never really attend those, or I had to schedule around those important dates.
Right.
It hurt me because I was the officer that had to leave on Thanksgiving. I was the officer that had to leave at Christmas and miss birthday parties. And I'm a family girl, and I'm sure all my friends are family people, but when you had newborns and smaller children, it really hurt me during that time. So I said, I've got to do something. I've got to do something that I'm going to probably be happy with, right? And be able to have time with my kids. So I ended up, this is totally weird, but I would live on the far east side of El Paso, and I would pass by, I don't know if people remember, it was the El Paso Real Estate School, the Academy, and it was on Montana. It was a little pink building, and it said El Paso Real Estate Academy School. So I would pass by every day and say like, oh, maybe I should look into real estate. I can do that, you know. And when I was at the sheriff's department, I could not have my hair done. I could not put my red lipstick. I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't do it. You know, they wouldn't, you can't do it. So I was like, God, I just want to, you know, go back to being being with people. And so long story short, I ended up pushing myself to the limit and said, I'm going to sign up and see what they tell me. The classes were 6 weeks, and I could not do the night school because of the kids. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do the day school. And whatever days I have, like that I'm on graveyards, I will just get up, finish my shift at 7 and go right to class at 8:30. So I did do that. I studied at work until I took the classes, finished them. And right there, 14 years ago, marked me becoming a real estate agent. And then I resigned from the sheriff's office.
Wow. That is so crazy. I love it. I love it. And so, and why did you choose real estate? Why real estate?
You know, when I started, when I was young, you know, I was 25 years old. What I kind of figured was I like every other agent does right now, I want the flexibility. I want the flexibility in the schedules where I can take care of my kids, watch my kids, be there with my kids. I don't want to miss Thanksgivings. I don't want to this. But I didn't realize that, of course, because I was younger at that age, Edgar was working. Edgar was at that time, he was at AT&T. So, you know, he was head of household there too. And I said, I spoke to him and I said, do you think if I retire or, you know, resign from the SO after 5 years, we'd be okay? And he said, well, you know what, just do it. Just do it. So he was very supportive of that. And, you know, the commissions weren't really something like, oh my God, I have to lean on and worry about, because I had Edgar at that time to take care of us. So it didn't seem too hard for me when I joined the real estate industry. But of course, you know, there was challenges along the way.
Yeah, and it was such a different time in real estate back then. I mean, when you first started, I mean, it's like so different now, right? And then when did Edgar come along? I know Edgar is, you know, a real estate agent also. We'll get to him later.
So from there, I ended up, you know, trying my very best, right, to make it in real estate. I mean, I started with a you know, like a smaller broker. My brother was with me during that time. He ended up getting his license with me, but then he ventured somewhere else because he had his sign business. So, I mean, when I started there, I ended up going to a different company. So I've been to like ERA, Keller Williams, and so forth, right? Well, as I grew as a real estate agent from the brokerages and the companies, and Edgar was, he was with other bigger companies like, pharma, like, he would do medical device or things like that. Well, he had his career already, and that was his main focus there. But when I started growing in the business, I know that I needed some type of help because I couldn't do it all alone. And when I started reaching that point of not being able to do it all by myself, and it became, overwhelming for me. At that time, Edgar ended up, we had a very, very, very hard conversation because, again, he was the one that had the health benefits. He's the one that would, bring in the bacon during that time. And I would bring in the bacon too, because I would be selling houses. But I was always afraid for him to, like, oh my God, what if he does leave and he comes with me? Like, we're just going to be straight commission based, no benefit, no legit salary to pay our bills every 2 weeks. But once I started, getting a little bit busier, we had that hard sit down conversation, and we decided that it was time for him to join the group. And I will by far tell you, he's been the biggest remarkable asset to the company. Like, I'm super proud that we did make that decision together.
Yes. I think I see you guys work together, and not only are you a hustler, but he's such a hustler too. So I do see you guys working really hard, and I see not only just a team real estate, that's it, but you guys have a real legit business. And different portions of your business. It's not just real estate. You guys have your rentals, and you have your Airbnbs, and and now different things that you want to do, and we'll talk about that a little bit right now. But also, I know that you in the other companies you had teams, and you had bigger teams. What do you see yourself right now with how do you want to, I guess, what direction do you see yourself going with your business in real estate right now, with teams or anything like that?
Well, right now I feel, joining eXp Realty has put my, the business in a lot of perspective. I don't want to go too fast. And before, I always tried to want to go too fast or grow too soon. And it usually, when you move that fast and you run that quick, you're going to have a lot more, mistakes, a lot more failure in that department because you're trying to do so much so quick. So what I've learned, and yes, I've had a big team, I've had a medium team. Right now I have a small team, and I'm super okay with that. I super love it for the reason being I can focus on a lot more and get the business structure in line and the system, and then my agents. So therefore, where was I going with this? Therefore, with the big teams and the small teams, I've learned a lot because I've been part of a big team and part of a smaller team in my years in the past. So whatever I grabbed from them, I've incorporated it here, and now even more with eXp, for the reason being, I want to take it slow because I want to learn from all these top dogs all around the world. So every day is a new day for me because I literally learn something new every day from one of these agents around the world. So that's where I see myself as far as the business is getting the business straight first, and then everything else will fall into place.
Yes. I know. Yes. We're learning. Well, of course, I'm learning so much from you and Edgar, but we're also, you're learning from like you said, the top dogs in eXp, and you're showing that to us, to me and Edgar and everything. So I'm super excited about that part. But I'm also excited about your future. You have, I sit with you and we talk, and you tell me about all your plans. I come in here, you have a lot of different people in here, and you're, doing all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness, so tell us a little bit about what are your plans for the future? I know that you have talked to me and said that you want to, teach others, so what are your plans?
So, I mean, basically my plans are this. One day, I really, really would like to come out of production and just be that coach. I would love to be a coach. I would love to be a mentor, because I think in all of this, it has taught me one thing, and it's taught me relationships. So I really consider not my business just real estate. It really goes deeper than that. And I think that what makes, I don't know, to me, my heart a little bit more special, because I want to put value in others, and I want to see others grow, not only myself, but others. So, I mean, right now I'm taking some, just some coaching and some mentoring on how I could become, later on a coach, later on a mentor. I have some cool ideas coming out that not only focuses, again, just on real estate. I'm going to leave that for my team, but I do want to step out of boundaries, step out of the comfort zone, and get more involved with the community, get more involved with coaching. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I don't have like all the specific deals, because it's going to be a little climbing process. So I mean, I'm super excited working with that right now, and especially, giving kudos to the coaches that are like behind us on our team. So that's going to be fun.
Yes. So, and then also, this is I put there, a hashtag boss lady show. Tell us how you, because you have 4 kids and they're in sports. Oh my God. I know. Sports too. But
oh my gosh. Yeah.
So how do you balance, being a wife, because I see you guys, and you guys are so lovey-dovey and everything. So how do you balance a wife, being a mom, and your business?
Okay, so that's where the tricky part comes in. So yes, I see Edgar almost 22 hours out of the 24 hours a day. And, he'll have his clients, I'll have my clients, but we end up having to come back to the same household, end up having to take the same kids to practices, doing the family functions. You should have seen me. I was running around with a chancla before I got out on the podcast, because I'm like, oh, my kids are, I don't know, supposed to be remote learning, but they're on the phone like with their eyes closed, and there's a mess, and those are mom duties, right? And like I always tell people, it's so awesome, that I can see my kids growing, but it gets a lot harder when they get older. But they're very supportive. So when it comes to my kids, they know the procedure. They know the procedure of when mom and dad are at work, what do you guys bring to the table? When mom and dad are home late, what's going to be on the kitchen stove, So, I mean, sometimes they'll slip, but they know the idea. And that comes from years ago when I ended up joining with Keller. I was with Keller Williams 5 years. We went to one bold class, and it was the very first bold class that we took as a group when I was on David Acosta's team. So I was on David Acosta's team and Victor Alonso's team, but we drove up there to Lubbock every Sunday to take that bold class. That bold class changed a lot of people's lives. And the reason why I say that was the 1 year that changed my life. And the reason why I say that is because we had an impersonal, how can I say, it was like a personal, I don't know what I'm saying, where you would put yourself back, and who would you put first in your life? So, my whole rule is God, family, business. So that whole God, family, business is what aligns in our family. Meaning God comes first, family, and then everything business. And what I mean by family is they taught us how to put our family first before everything else. And when I ended up having that conversation and I came back and finished that bold class, I will tell you, that was like maybe 6-7 years ago. My life has been changed for the reason being we keep a calendar. We keep consistency. So me and Edgar will, even though we work together, we keep our date nights. We keep each other informed. We have time for the kids. Nobody comes before the kids, respectfully, to my clients and my friends. Nobody comes before the kids. So it's soccer, our family time, and that's it. And then, of course, business after. So I remember, at that time I was like, well, my clients are going to have a hard time me telling them, hey, I can't do it at 2 because I have a soccer game. And you know what? It was reversed. They were like, oh my God, yes, call me afterward. Let's make a schedule. So once that ended up being, settling in as that consistency and agenda ended up happening, we've been flying with just being that okay. So I hope that makes sense. So calendar for everybody, the whole family.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I'm learning from you guys is to make sure we have a calendar, and we put each other. I mean, of course, like you said, your family comes first, and then your business is second. And so you guys are teaching me that, and you're teaching me so many other, of course, wonderful things on accountability, on savings, just so many things that you guys I'm learning from you. So give, I guess, the last couple of minutes, give a new agent, or not, they don't even have to be an agent, just somebody that owns a business or anything, just a little bit of advice on, what to tell yourself, and, what, how to prepare yourself and what to do.
This is what I have to say, and this is what I always usually say, even, new agents, seasoned agents, is, this business is ridiculously hard. So whoever says that it's easy, it's not true. It's not easy. So, you gotta work. You gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the sweat. You gotta put everything that you got into your business, no matter what. Get your husband in line. Get your family in line. Get your kids in line. If you know that this is the career that you want and you envision yourself to be and grow, keep your mind open, keep your mind learning, keep your mind expanding. You keep growing that way. So if you're stuck in a little pit right now because you don't know where to go, who to talk to, you better find a way. You better find a way, because nobody's going to be paying your bills. Nobody's going to be feeding you, none of that. I'm a black and white transparent person. That's how I see life. You have 4 corners in your household, 4 walls. I say this to one of my best friends. I tell her, don't worry about anything else. You worry about your 4 corners. You worry about your 4 walls in your house. Yes. How are you going to bring value to your family and to yourself? That's what you got to focus on. You got to go out there. You got to research. You have to ask. You have to dig, and you have to get value to grow in your business, no matter what business it is. Have to get up, guys, and you have to do it. Don't make excuses for yourself, because the excuses they just linger. They just linger, and they're going to still be there. So you might as well just do it, right? Or try it. So don't get discouraged where you're at. If you find yourself in a pit, reach out. And to me, I feel blessed that I can do that to every friend of mine in El Paso and every maybe agent that's out there. I'm always a phone call away. I'm always a text message away. There's times where I'm, with other agents that we just talk for about an hour on the phone, and it's just to vent or regroup, or what do you think I should do here, Jackie? Or what do you think? And, we kind of mastermind together like that. Yes. I could keep talking and talking, but, you got to start somewhere, and it has to be soon, right? Because time just goes too fast.
It does.
So that would be my advice, is dig in there, research. Okay. Oh, and another one for the new agents too, or the newer agents or agents. I see a lot of this on the commissions. Okay. And I am going to touch this topic because there's just too many people out there like, what are you going to give me? What are the commissions? You're going to take this from me. Guys, I mean, sometimes you got to pay to learn, or the value has to be reciprocated, right? Right. Back to you in order for that cut to be given. When I started real estate, it wasn't, I didn't get 100%, I was a 50-50. I was a 50-50 split, but I didn't care. I was like, what am I getting from this guy? I had Victor Alonso as my mentor and David Acosta. I didn't care. Take what you want. because I'm going to get 10 times more with the knowledge that you are giving me.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm here today because of that value that they gave me. So sometimes you got to pay to learn. Okay. You got to pay to learn. And that's the reason for my move to EXP, is because of that. I pay a little, but guess what? I get 10 times fold. And that's incredible to me. So just
yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that was the reason I moved to EXP. And then of course, you know, you're part of it. So I was like super excited because EXP and Jackie Stevens, boom, perfect.
Yeah.
It was
you want to keep this going. You want to keep this noggin going. Learn from others.
Yeah.
You know, and replicate it. Is learn it, listen, take it in, right? So I mean, that's where I'm at.
And agents, that is one thing that Jackie, like she mentioned, if you guys have a question or feel stuck, you know, she is a phone call away. Her number is coming out in the screen. She does have an office here in El Paso. So, you know, if you want to come and talk to us, you know, you are welcome to come and talk to us. We're not going to charge you for the talk. But come and talk to us if you do feel stuck or just have any questions, you know. And that's another thing that you'll be doing in the future, Jackie. You'll be, you know, having these classes, and we are going to invite, you know, anybody. You know, we're going to have contract classes. We're going to have, you know, different classes on real estate, and we are going to invite other agents to come and join us.
Absolutely. We're ready for that. We're ready for the COVID to be over, guys. And I know you are too, but hang in there, you know, and do the things that, you know, make you uncomfortable. So, I mean, that was taught to me with this podcast. Like, I was like, what?
I know.
Oh my God, how am I going to do a freaking podcast? Like, I'm okay to speak to everybody and anybody, but when you're like literally on live, you're, oh my God.
I know. So this is my first podcast. I had, I'm the one that brought in the superintendent.
Yes.
Jackie, you'd speak to him. So this is my first actual live podcast, and I had to get out of my comfort zone. And that's one of the things that Jackie and Edgar, Nick Krem, they're pushing me to get out of my comfort zone. So yeah, so that's why I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And my first one's gonna be Jackie.
Well, I'm glad that I was your guinea pig, but I think you're doing amazing, and I really like it. So now you could go and hustle and get me some more speakers on there.
I know.
Let everybody know and feed them some knowledge.
Yeah, we'll bring in some more content for you guys, more people that the community wants to, you know about, or, you know, we're trying to get, you know, people from, you know, the different, like Amazon, or, you know.
Yeah, that will be your next one.
You never know who might be in our podcast.
Absolutely. So guys, I mean, thank you so much for joining in. And I mean, if there's any comments, or, you know, you want to maybe just private message us, I'll be more than happy to answer anything you guys need. I'm always a door away. I'm in the East Side. Edgar is always a door away, Michelle. So, I mean, come talk with us, and we thank you guys for joining us on our podcast.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Jackie.
Woo! Bye, guys. Have a great day.